Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sihlengema from QuickTrade. Welcome to our trade technical trade analysis. Um, I see that we don't actually have a lot of people joining us. Hi, Gert, how's it? Please send me an email there. How did you get invited, Gert? Was it through an SMS? Oh, sorry, an email, or was it via your WhatsApp? Sure, you got it from Facebook. Okay. Very well. Thank you, Gert. Thank you so much for your speedy response there. Please tell me there, Gert, did you receive an SMS? Hi, Silo. How's it? Did you get your SMS, Silo? Sorry, your email inviting you to join the webinar this morning. Was there an email, Silo, from you? Did you get any email from us? Silo? Ask the question. Did you get an email or well, I mean, or was the WhatsApp message that you responded to this morning? Oh, okay, okay. I understand why we don't have so many people this morning. It's because we did not actually send out an email. Okay, that's fine. Okay, okay, guys, let's look at what's happening in today's market. It looks like the rand is starting to strengthen again after hitting 1340. I think it was 1340. I'll tell you now. I just want to get it up here. Okay. Okay, let's get the weekly there. On the rand, I want us to first have a look at the rand. I want us to first have a look at the rand. After looking at the rand, I want us to look at the stocks that are actually benefiting from the rand weakness today. I think we should do that, and it will benefit us a lot. I think we could be heading down towards 13 on the rand. The rand could be going back towards 13 bucks. I expect maybe to see some more buying interest coming back. Sorry, well, I mean US dollar buying interest. And some rand sell off around. I'm expecting that to happen between 13 and 292. At 13 and 292, that's where I expect to see the rand weakening once again, maybe going back to those levels that we mentioned 2 weeks ago. Or, well, I mean, 1.5 weeks ago, we mentioned 1340. Yesterday, we achieved our target. The market went up. We hit our 1340 target. The high was 1343. The high of 1343, and sellers started coming in. This is a little bit of an indecision, I mean, type of a candle here. And this morning we had a follow through with the market coming off. So we could be coming back down to 13 bucks. Maybe getting maybe a tail between these two levels here, between 13 and 1292. So when that happens, financials and retailers are likely to do well. When that happens, financials and retailers are likely to do well. But the main thing is that we hit our target. We came back down. We're now coming back down. We expect to see 13, 1292. Let's look at one of the peaks that we made a couple of days ago. We sent out a trade idea on sent out a trade idea on CML. We sent out a trade idea on CML. We said CML was a short. In my view, I still strongly feel that CML is still a short, as long as we are still below that 63.40 there. There's a line here, a horizontal line around 63.40. That is our main resistance on a weekly chart. Sorry, main resistance on a weekly chart. We broke below that, so we are still I think trying to move higher in an attempt to in a attempt to break above 63.40. We are still below that area, so I believe that sellers are going to be waiting in this zone. That zone is 65.34 and 63.40. I think there's going to be sellers there. So while the rand is strengthening, I expect to see maybe CML, some strengthening also on CML, maybe moving up towards that 63.40. But once the rand has hit maybe 13 bucks or even 12.92, I expect to see the rand weakening from those levels. Again. So when that happens, we could see maybe financials, CML included, weakening once more, going to the levels that we highlighted when we sent out this trade idea. So people shouldn't panic, in my view. This is still a a short on CML. Even if CML does go back up to 63.40, 64, I think sellers are going to come back in once more once the rand start weakening again. So CML benefited a lot this morning. Stocks like DSY. Let's check first trend. Let's just check how first trend is doing. First rand is up 3.4%. It's all because of the rand strength. I don't think that this is going to be there for a very long time. I expect to see these financial stocks coming off very soon. We just need to see the rand weakening once more. Then we're going to see our market normalizing again, because I say normalizing because I expect to see them going down. They have been going down. So right now, what's happening is not normal in my view, because they are actually supposed to be going down still, but because of the rand weakness, that's not happening. Let's look at stocks that are being hit today because of this. We are looking at some rand hedge names such as your Billiton. Billiton is down. Billiton is down, not a lot. It's down 1.29 today because of the rand strength. I think people who were watching the same levels we've been watching, that 1340. They use that as an opportunity maybe to go short on the rand hedge names. I think when we get down to 12.92, those clever guys again, they're going to be buying these names. So you must be very careful when you see the rand trading maybe sub 13 bucks. Or just below 13 bucks, you must use that maybe as an opportunity to try and buy some rand hedge names like SAP, CFR, Billiton, AGL, and all those names. I think they are going to be looking very good when the rand is trading around 13 bucks, 12.92, that zone. Okay, let me show you another stock I'm looking at. I'm eyeing the stock. If I don't remember, guys, please remind me when the stock gets to 117. I'm watching AGL. I would like to short ANG. I would like to short ANG when it gets to 117, 117.50. When it gets to this zone here, I'd like to short the stock, but I don't know if I'll remember. to short it. But I mean, in my view, I think it's a short. Guys, please remind me so that we can go in and short this one around 117. Currently, it's trading at 114, 114, 114.53, and we have this nice rising trend line here on it, the short-term trend line from the 15th of May. It has been rising, but I think if gains are going to be kept between, well, I mean, you see this dotted line here, anywhere around this dotted line, we just have to watch out for some reversal signal around that area there. If we get some price action reversal signal between, let's just call it between 115 and 117, between that area, if we get something good, we can actually go in and start shorting ANG, looking maybe for a drop back down to 100 from 115, drop back down to 101, 100, that zone. That's what I think is likely to happen on AMG. It's been very strong over the past couple of days, but very soon I think it's going to be declining once again. But I mean, if we get any break above that 117, 117.50, we could see our price going back up to that 123 area. 123 area at the top, this area here. If that area is taken out, we may see it going back up to 137, but right now I cannot really see that happening. Let's just keep an eye between, I mean, eye on 115 and 117 on Anglos. Sorry, not Anglos, Anglo Gold, sorry, ANG. Okay, guys, do you have to suggest? Is there any question? Is there anything that you'd like us to look at? Please tell me. Hard Silo, we don't have a lot of people, guys, today. We don't have a lot of people. Like I said to you, you have an opportunity to ask me anything that you want to ask me with regards to trading, of course. Okay, I like MTN. I like MTN. Sorry, Silo. We spoke about MTN a few days ago. I think it was last week. I like MTN between 112 and 111. Anything between 112 and 111, MTN is a buy for me. Anything between 112 and 111, MTN is a buy for me. Let me get my support and resistance levels using the quarterly chart. Let me see if I can find anything there. Okay, we'll have a look at Kumba. We'll have a look at Kumba. Okay. Just gonna mark these turning points. I just want to check what happened when the market visited them earlier this year. Okay, we are below this point here. If we close the month below here, we could actually go much lower. Okay, this is the monthly chart. Late November, the market came down to these levels. It was 114, and it went up to 126, came back down to 114, it went up. And right now we are trading around 112.78 or 112. The only thing that's worrying me about this market is this point here. We are trading below the simple moving average. This was in March on a monthly time frame, and in April we did not take out that moving average. We still closed the month below the moving average. In May, we closed below the moving average. The market was down 8.3%. The market was down 8.3% in May last month, and month to date we are down 1.48%. The month is not over yet. The month is not over yet, but if we close the month of June below this line here, below 114.30, sure, there could be a little bit more selling taking place on MTN. Maybe the price may drop down to 109 or lower. I'm not really too sure what's going to happen there. But I mean, if we get to close like this below the simple moving average, below that 114.30, there's a good chance that we could get this price closing down maybe around 109 before picking up, or 109 and lower. I'm not really sure what's likely to happen there going forward, but the picture that I see there is not very good. It's not a good picture. This is the weekly chart now. Clearly, you can see that we have been trading in a range since 2016, 2017. We have been trading in a range. The price goes up to, let me show you. The price goes up to 133, 130, that zone. Comes down to 112, 110, 130, 133, 112, 110. So we've done this a few times already. Done this a few times already. One to all the time. Every time it's to 133, sellers come in and push the price down, and every time it gets around this zone, buyers come in and push the price up. So we want to wait and see where this bar closes, the current week's bar. If this bar closes below 114.30, we want to see if we're going to get any follow through from the market. If you get a follow, I mean, another bar maybe taking us down, that's maybe 1010, 109 that I'm talking about. We could actually come down there. But I mean, we want a second week. If we don't get a second week, we could see the price maybe reversing around 110, 109. That's what I think is likely to happen here on MTN, because I mean, check what happened here. The price went below 114.30, this last horizontal line that we have here at the bottom. The price closed below. That was back in 2016, October. It was October. The market was down 3.4, and we had a follow through. It was just 1 week's bar. That was the week of the 17th in October. It was just 1 week, and after that the market picked up. Let's check here again. In 2017, the market closed below that 114 rand 30 cents. and the following week we had the market declining some 1.86%. After that, the market started picking up. After that, the market started picking up again. So I don't know what's going to happen this time. The market is busy. Trying to challenge the support area that we have around 110, 109 area. If we close below sorry, not the moving average, the horizontal line there at 114.30. We are likely to have maybe just one follow through down. Coming down towards that 110, 109. From there, I expect to see buyers coming back in around this area, around 110. If you see a positive or a blue bar like this, like the one that we had in the week of the 19th in June 2017, you could actually go in there and start initiating some long trades. But I suggest that you ease into that trade. You don't just go in with everything that you have. Maybe use your second third, and the third one. After that, you should be done. Because we are range bound. So if you buy around 110, you are expecting to see 133, 133, 130. Here again came down. We had a positive bar immediately after that. In October, the week of the 24th in 2016, and the market pushed up to that 133, to that important 133 zone. That area is very important, and where we are trading right now is equally important. So it's very important that you pay some special attention to the market around these levels, because this is where you can actually end up bagging a lot of cash from this market. If you guys have any questions on this one, please ask. Otherwise, we will move on to Kumba. But still sees that at support. I like this. Let's wait for this week to finish. I think if we finish like this, it's possible that next week you're going to have a bit of a negative week. It could actually take us down to 109, 110, like I've mentioned a couple of times already, and from there we go up. We go up to 133. If you fail to do that, I think the price can actually go much lower. I don't know how low, but it's possible that we could actually see this market declining a bit more. Okay, let's check Kumba. Okay, I'm not going to redraw my horizontal lines or my support and resistance lines, but we said yesterday Kumba was on a rise. It went up, retraced, and now it's busy trying to move higher. So we are on a retrace here on Kumba. I think Kumba is actually going to move much higher. I expect to see it maybe going up to 340, 339. After 340, 339, maybe we go up to 380. It's looking good for, to me at the moment. I think Kumba is a buy. Let's check how it looks on the daily. Let's check if the daily agrees with me or not. The daily is saying no, hang on, this is not a buy. Yesterday we closed below the moving average, but it wasn't a clear cut close. Let's check and see what happens today. If today we close below, we could see maybe sellers coming in and pushing the price lower. But anywhere around 300 and 290, to me, Kumba is a good buy. You can actually go in there and buy some Kumbas, and from there you should see the price actually moving up towards that 340 resistance. After 340, if we manage to break above, I'm looking at 380 on Kumba. Kumba is still a buy in my view. I understand the week is the daily is just pulling back. We should just be patient and wait for the price to break above the moving average. Once it's broken above the moving average, then we can go in and buy Kumba using the daily time frame. Now this is the hourly time frame on Kumba again. It's trading below the moving average on the hourly time frame. It hasn't really closed above. So what this means is that you should just sit on your hands, watch it. It is a buy, but don't buy right now. Wait uh, for the day to close above the moving average and just check your hourly. If it is below the moving average is below the price, it means that the takeoff has begun. You can actually go in there and initiate some longs. For now, maybe you should just not do anything, although I feel that it's a buy. If you can stomach the pullback or the setback that you could actually suffer on this one if you jump in, like right now, yeah, you can just go right ahead and buy it and wait for it to pick up at some point. But I prefer not to do that. I prefer to wait for my daily to first confirm before I go in, or I prefer the price to come down to some serious support before buying that stock. Like if the price were to come down, maybe back down to this 283, maybe that's where I would jump in or wait for the break above the moving average. Okay, we've done this one, Kumba. I think you don't have any more questions on Kumba. If you do, please ask. Let's look at the US 500. The US 500 is very important for direction in the market. After that, we're going to have a look at gold. Oh, okay. You want us to have a look at BGA? Sure. BGA, I think BGA is still a short. I think BGA is still a short. It's just going up because the rand is strong today. Otherwise, I think we're going to see it coming down. We'll have a look at it later. The main trend on the US dollar, sorry, on the US 500, sorry, the S&P 500, the main trend is up. Like like we've always said in these sessions, that we still expect the price of gold to, so of the US 500 to move up to 2,880, 2,872. I think that is still coming, but at the moment we hit our support, our resistance. You see this line that we have here at the top at 2,790. We hit that line yesterday and the price started coming down. It's possible that we may still come down maybe to 2,752 to this support line before moving higher, taking out these 2,272, 2,790. Once we've taken these out, 2,872, I think, is the level that we should actually focus on. Okay, the daily time frame, you see we hit that resistance at the top here, 2,790. The price is coming down. We haven't really closed below the moving average. I do not really expect to see any aggressive selling taking place around that level, although I still think that sellers could actually come in more aggressively and push the price down to 2,752, but I do not expect any daily close below the moving average. You could have like intraday moves below the moving average, but I don't expect to see any like strong selling pressure from the levels where we are trading right now. If it happens, we'll have to change our stance and expect the market to cool off just a little bit before moving higher once again. that is on the US 500. If the US 500 is looking like this, you must know that our market is not really having a good trading session. Okay, let's look at BGA. BGA is in a downtrend. Let's draw the falling trend line that we have here on BGA. Okay, this is our falling trend line on BGA. It's going down. If you like, maybe using your, I'm not saying that you must go ahead and use the 200 simple moving average, but I'm saying that if you like using the 200 moving average just to check how this stock is trading. Look, 200-day moving average is around it's around 167.51. That's where it's at, and that area there is our resistance and the falling trend line, and that area is just above the declining trend line. So we are trading very close to the 200 and that declining horizontal line going down. So I still expect to see more weakness on BGA unless if something great comes up that could actually compel buyers to come in numbers and push the price of BGA higher. As long as the rand is weakening like this, like it has been weakening, there's a good chance that you could actually pick up BGA much lower later in the year. Much lower later in the year. Let's check. Okay. Okay, let's check here. I told you guys I'm looking at 135, 140 on BGA. I think that's the level that the market is going to maintain. 135, 140. I think around those levels you can actually go in and buy more of BGA. That's the I think on a half yearly basis or 6 months time frame, we are between 185 and 135. There is a $50 difference here, or there's a range, $50 range that we have. So if you see this price coming back down to 134, 140, 135, 140, that's the level where I think the big guys are going to come in and start buying. BGA. That's where I think they will come in and start buying BGA. Yeah, guys, that's it on BGA. I don't have anything else to say. I think there is just consolidating, moving up a bit. From there, sellers are gonna come in and push the price lower. I expect to see BGA coming down to 135, 140. So there's another stock go that you can go and short at the right levels and expect to make some serious money. I have my own resistance. My resistance is at 170, 171. As long as we are respecting that resistance, the market doesn't break that one out, we're still going to trade much lower. Okay, let's look at gold. The gold price in US dollars. Okay. We bounced off that 292. We went up. The next area of resistance on gold I think is around 1317, 1320, around this area, 1317, 1320. I expect to see sellers coming in and pushing the price of gold lower. For now, I think it's possible that this could go up to what, 1317, 1320. Let us get our support and resistance levels on this one. Okay, let's delete this. Delete this. Okay. Okay. 168 there. Okay. Okay, there's another resistance that I did not really look at. It's 1309, 1310. I think around this area here. And there are sellers waiting there, wanting to push the price lower. From there, if we fail to break out above 1309, I'm expecting the price to come down to 1275. I expect the price to come down to 1275. From 1275, maybe around this zone here, 1270, 1275. I think they are going to be buyers waiting around there. Otherwise, the next area is around 1241 on gold. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens, guys, going forward. I don't know. The market will give us the direction we should take. Okay, guys, do you have more questions? Is there anything that's confusing you that you've tried maybe applying in the market and it's not working? It's not helping you to make money? Please let me know so that we can have a look at it. Otherwise, guys, we're going to cut this session short because we don't have a lot of numbers. It's just the three of us, you know. There isn't too many people asking questions. Oh, heard nothing from your side. Okay, let me see. Silo, I have not attended my sessions. Can you? Okay, Silo. Okay. It's fine. Gert, you're free to leave if you don't have any more questions. Otherwise, you can just stay on, and I'll have a look at the basics with Silo. Okay. Which stock that you want us to look at, Silo? Which stock? Pick the stock, big guy. Oh, Victoria. Okay. Are you sure you haven't done basics with you, Silo, of understanding? The direction of the market. The direction of the market. Just remove that. I said first thing that we look at the monthly time frame. We look at the monthly time frame. We apply the simple moving average. I'm sure you know how to add the simple moving average. This is how you add it. You do this. Right click on your screen, go add indicator, and click on SMA, the simple moving average. You go OK, and you push this number up to 10. I want that period on the simple moving average to be 10. You make it 10, go OK, and you've got your SMA. Now we have two. I'll remove one because I don't need it. Okay, let me show you what you are looking for when you are applying this simple moving average on a monthly time frame. Are you with me there, Silo? What you are looking for there, you're looking for the main direction of the market. I know that when the market is making higher highs and higher lows and all of that, it means that that market is on a rise. When it's making lower lows and uh, lower lows, it means that that market is really, declining, you know. So this market is in 2012, it was on a rise. It was above its simple moving average. It was rising. As long as it's above simple moving average, your thick red line, it means that that market is rising. The moment you see the market closing below, like here, in in September 2016, the market closed below the moving average in 2015, and after that, the market, consolidated for a while in October. In November, it went down 6.7%. In December, it dropped 10.25%. It actually went lower, but it closed with a 10.25% loss. It moved sideways for a bit. It crossed above here in July 2016. It crossed above its moving average. It came down the following month, but did not take out the previous month's low. And from there, it started rising. It came down here. There was a strong trend up, closed above again, and it rose. And now, check what's happened now. The market is just closed below the simple moving average. That was in May, end of May. We closed below the simple moving average on Barclays. That is why I believe that Barclays should actually come down for a bit. It closed below that simple moving average, and so far, month to date, I think because of the rand strength, we are up 4% month to date. But very soon, I believe the market is going to be trading much, much lower on, on first rand. But we are below the moving average. That is a negative sign to me. It is an early warning that this market is likely to come down. So let me see the levels. Okay, first rand. This is first rand, actually, not BGA. Okay, we have some nice support around 56, 57. So currently we are trading 62, 62, let me make it bigger, 62.83. But there's a good chance that the price is likely going to come down to 57. 57. I understand that we are below the moving average, but around 57 or 56.86, around 57, I expect buyers to come in and start buying some first rand, pushing it up maybe towards 67. From 67 up again towards that 75, 74 area. That's where I expect to see happening on first rand. But before we move higher, I expect to see the price coming down below 60. The price has to come down below 60, come down maybe to 57 or 57.50. That zone, that's where I think buy orders are waiting on first rand. Silo, do you get how we do the basic analysis on stock? Do you understand? That's the first thing. I'm not looking at support. I'm not looking at resistance. I'm just well. I mean, I've just looked at support there around 57, but I'm focusing more on the simple moving average. But you must make sure that when you're using the simple moving average, you do not disrespect your support and resistance levels. They are key. They supersede everything. Okay. Please give me another stock that we can look at. Currency pair, stock, anything. It doesn't matter. Let's look at CLS. Okay. Okay, CLS has been doing very well since I would say since 2012. You know, every time when it's above the moving average, it enjoys some very beautiful returns from the stock market. So between 2013 and 2014, it was above. In some months below in during other months, but I mean it still managed to rise and move above the moving average in 2014, 2015, and it went up. So what's happening right now is that this market is still in a bull run, still in a we are still in a bull market here. The market is still rising. But last month we had a negative close to the month of May. We're down 5.6%, and the market I think is enjoying the rand strength today. That is why we are looking like that. It's possible that we may still see 185, 180 on CLS. From 200 levels where it's trading, it's possible that the price may come down to 185, 200 levels before picking up and moving to that 215, 200, 215 area. But I mean, the main trend on it is up because it's trading above the moving average. It's trading above the moving average. If you want to get those levels, you use your line chart. You see this turning point here. I'm just using basic line chart, not the dotted line chart. That is your support, this is your resistance there. So I expect to see the price, maybe if the market weakness persists on this one, to come back down to 181, 185. That's where I think buyers are waiting with their buy orders on this one around 185. Even if you just leave one here and go away, leave it around 181 and expect the market to come down, take you in and go up. Otherwise, maybe you can try your luck and go in and sell the market around anywhere between 205 and 210. But let's check the weekly. Let's check how the weekly looks. The weekly is not very, it's not too convincing to me in my view. But if we close below the simple moving average at the end of this week, there's a good chance that we could see this price coming back down to 181. You can use that as an opportunity to go in and short CLS. There's an aggressive trade that you can take on CLS, although CLS is looking strong on a monthly time frame. On a weekly is not looking so strong. So it's possible that we could see this coming back down to 180, 185. So you cannot buy it just because it's above the moving average. Check your weekly, check your daily. Let's check how the daily looks on this one. The daily time frame is not looking good. Every time we go up to 214, there are sellers waiting there, pushing the price lower. We have been declining for the past couple of days on this one. If you check that moving average there, sorry, that declining trend line, I think we have some serious selling pressure around 203. Around 203, we have some serious selling pressure. So I expect to see the price coming back down to this 180. As long as we fail to take out the 203 level that I've just mentioned on CLS, I expect to see the price. I expect to see the price coming down on CLS. When the monthly is saying buy, or the monthly is on a buy, you have to wait for the day silo to close above your daily time to close above your simple moving average on the daily time frame. When the price is above your simple moving average on the daily time frame, it means that you can go in and start buying that market. Otherwise, when the market is doing this, if you don't want to sell, just stay out of that market. Sit on cash. If you don't want to sit on cash, you want to take a chance and sell the market, you can just go in and sell the market and expect the price to drop down to that 180. But I mean, that's an aggressive way of looking at the market. The best way is to wait for all of them to line up in your direction. If it's a bull market, they should all say one thing. They should all say buy. If it's a bearish market, the market that is declining, they should all say sell before you decide to go in and do anything on that particular market. Are you happy with that, Silo? Are you happy? You understand? Are you going to be able to apply this on your own? Sure. But we've done support and resistance a lot of times, Silo, but it's fine. We'll look at it. But I expect you guys to take notes when I'm doing this. I cannot keep repeating the same stuff every day. You must take notes. I've done support and resistance the whole time. Okay, it's fine. Let me do this. Let me I'll use cash build. I'll use cash build to show you what you are looking at there. Okay, let's look at cash build. We don't have a lot of data on cash build, but check what happened here on cash build end of May. We closed down below the moving average, and month to date we are down 12%. If you had taken a short on cash build at the end, well, I mean at the beginning of June, you could have made yourself, I think, more than 12% on cash build. Okay, now let's look at those important support and resistance levels. When I do this, I'm getting those support and resistance levels still low. That's what I'm doing. I'm not just putting those horizontal lines across. I'm not being artistic. This is your resistance here. These turning points here are your resistance on a on a quarterly time frame. And this is your next resistance. Sure, your next support is very far. I doubt this thing will come down to 274. I doubt it will come down to 274, but let's do it. Let's respect the chart and put that support there at 274. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Okay, we'll use the weekly. We don't have enough data. Below this point here, if we can close this week below 350 or 347, if we can close the week below 347 on on cash build or CSB. I think the next support area that we have on this one is around 274, 280. I think we're likely to see more selling pressure happening here on CBS. So it's possible that we could still see more selling pressure coming in on CSP, pushing it down to 274 because we are trading below our resistance at 347. If you see maybe the price pulling back up to 347, you can use that as an opportunity to go in and sell this market. Another thing, we are below the weekly moving average here from this point here. It was on the it was on the when was it? The week of the 9th in April. We crossed below the simple moving average there. The price was still above 430. So those that went in and took some shots here, they made like a lot of money with CBS dropping down to 325 levels where we are now. There's another thing that I want to check there using the quarterly chart. At the top here, I want to use these turning points here. I want to use these turning points. I want to see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this cross that happened here. If you are using your quarterly, because I mean this area was your resistance, this 450 and 435 here, two resistance. Well, I mean it was your support. Sorry, because I mean we had broken above this area, so it became your support. But we closed below the moving average and below both horizontal lines. The market went up a bit to test the previous horizontal support, which had then become which had then became the I mean resistance. The market really didn't do much. It came back down again. It went up to test that area again, test the moving average, and we went down. So this was a very good shot. This was a very, 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 very good shot. I liked it. It was a very good shot. It was a very good shot. Guys, that's it for the day. We'll meet again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll push for us to send out an email so that everyone can come in. If you guys have any questions or any questions on anything that you don't understand, you can send me an email, sihle@quicktrade.co.za, sihle@quicktrade.co.za. You're welcome, Silo. You're welcome, big guy. Thank you guys for your questions. You were very interactive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye bye.